Well, when one door closes, another one opens, and this one is an unfortunate one. Inside of the Esports World Cup, one team was not able to make it, so they are being replaced by another team, a team that you all know and are aware of, and probably excited to see how they compete here in the next couple of days. Don't forget Esports World Cup this weekend. If you guys want to see all the action or at least stay up to date with what's going on, make sure to subscribe and like the video over here. Also, wanted to make mention of some of the future of Apex as we enter into this new era, this new season, and some of the updates we should be able to look forward to. So firstly, it started off with PassionUA, right? You guys probably know this team more predominantly because of Max Strafe. Max Strafe has been in the scene for so long and has had so many countless problems with being able to attend and show up to LAN, mostly from the war going on over in Ukraine. Unfortunate stuff. I really hate it. I mean, this guy has been really dealt a bad hand, and he missed a couple lands years ago, and it just really sucked. And then here we go into the World Cup, and obviously he's kind of been popping off lately, and they've been a really good, solid team. And they come out to say a couple days ago, it's official now, we are not able to make the Esports World Cup. Max Strafe also came out to say, unfortunately, we are not coming to Riyadh Esports World Cup LAN. Every effort we did in blackouts, and we did the impossible with incredibly low motivation due to the unknown and horrific war around. I was hoping until last seconds that we would attend LAN, but this is not destined to happen. I think they were having some passport issues. Really unfortunate considering, yeah, like Max said, I mean, they've gone through so much with the war that was going around and so many blackouts, and they were still able to make all of this stuff happen, still able to qualify for everything, and still just sadly was not in the playbook, I guess. It just sucks, man. I really hate it for this guy. It's like, how much bad news can this guy get? So of course, with that, they have to replace the team, and the team to replace them has now been announced as EXO Clan. Don't forget, EXO Clan has kind of been on the rise as of late. This team is former Element 6. They did do the merge, so E6 has come together with EXO. And then you also, well, you have the official statement. Let's make mention of this. Esports World Cup basically came out to say, team update, PassionUA will not be able to travel to Riyadh to compete due to restrictions on outbound travel. They will be replaced by EXO Clan. The Esports World Cup has been informed that PassionUA unfortunately will not be able to travel to Riyadh to compete in this week's Apex Legends tournament due to restrictions on outbound travel. We hope to be able to assist to host them in the future and wish them the best in upcoming events. The team's spot in the tournament has been filled by EXO Clan. Good luck to all participating this week. And of course, EXO Clan is none other than your Mr. K Swinney. You've also got Huda just now recently joining the roster, and obviously Slayer's on that roster as well. You've also got a little bit of a recap about what's going on when you can watch this tournament. So they did say that first group, basically Group A is going to be played on August 1st. Group B is going to be played August 2nd. Loser bracket going to be played August 3rd. And then the finals will be Sunday, August 4th. So this is at 8:15 UTC +3. No idea what that even means. Basically, it is 11:15 a.m. Eastern if you guys are looking to watch on these days. Don't forget, though, it is a 4-day event. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that's going to be at 11:15 a.m. Eastern. So bright and early in the morning when you guys are waking up. And if you guys are on the West Coast, of course, you're going to be having to wake up pretty darn early at 8:15 to watch these games go. All the participating teams are as follows down here. We've already broken these groups down. I guess we can kind of recap that as we get a little bit closer, maybe in the next couple of days. But we also need to make mention of probably some of the meta that is going to that we're going to see, right? Because we've been so confused with the fuse thing. They come out and blatantly patch what they say now, I guess, was an exploit with the fuse being able to scan everybody by using the evac towers. Then we find out that you can do it with the lifeline packages. Now here they are once again inside of the Discord, VNM saying, yes, you are allowed to do the thing where you can smoke the bottom of the evac tower that still lets you use the fuse ultimate and still does the same quote exploit. So they said at one point that it wasn't an exploit. Now they're treating it like an exploit. Now they're going back to saying, yes, you can use it. So what is the official ruling? There's so much gray area here. I really wish that, you know, we would have some more redefined rules or restrictions in this game to kind of make the comp scene more viable. Like, for instance, in Call of Duty, you literally have, you know, like, hey, like, especially like CMG rules. Like when you play, there's a rule set. You are not allowed to snake. If you snake and get proof, you are done. You're disqualified. You lose. You are not allowed to, throw a smoke. Now, if you do, well, you got proof, you're done. You lose the game. Like, I wish there was a rule set that specifically said you cannot use exploits. Here are the exploits. If you use them, you will be disqualified from the tournament. Now, maybe that's too far. You might not completely agree with that. Whatever. That's a different conversation to be had, I would assume. But I do think that there needs to be some sort of reinforcement of rules in the game, because right now we are lacking that. It is all just hoping the best, hope everybody plays something good. I do think that there needs to be some sort of maybe ban restrictions, or don't use that. I don't know. I feel like there needs to be some regulation. I think every good sport has some type of regulation behind it, and I would like to see that in Apex personally, but I know a lot of you do disagree, and we've even seen it from the developers themselves saying they would rather go to the core and try to fix things rather than put GAs or rules in the game. But it's my opinion that I don't think that you can simultaneously coexist all these communities. You can't have a casual fan base that enjoys the same type of game that the pros do or that Ranked does. I think they're totally different games. Apex at the top is totally different than Apex at the bottom. You are only seeing about a handful of legends in the top of the game. The casual player base of the game is playing a total different game where they actually use some of the bottom legends like Vantage, or, maybe, Design's always trying to pull something out, but you get what I'm saying. Many different legends are used in pubs that are not used in Ranked or not used inside of comp, and I just think you can't even make the game say it's not the same thing. We all know, if you are a true competitive Apex player, you know it is not the same thing. Therefore, I don't believe it should be treated the same, but I guess that's my own opinion. Also wanted to make mention, Challenger Circuit has been completed as of yesterday. We are now finished with Split 2. That is all 4. Now we know that basically we only had 2 winners in Split 2. One was Oversleepers that won last night, and then also team that got 11th place, Fury, have basically won the last three times in a row. Oversleepers with Vattery able to take the dub in the end. FSC in second place with Charmander, you guys obviously know as well. E-Kittens with Oxygen, Josh Cody, you also know. Also, you've got Ambino playing in 4th place. Don't Give a Piss with Fearless, Golden, and Shinny in 5th place. Espresso in 6th with Kai and Stunny. Also, you've got Ping Wingman with Dig Vibes and Kuz in 7th place. You've got Meat 2.0 with Tech Panders and Rambo in 8th place. You've got Pure with Voski and Inamigo saying in 10th place. And then Fury, obviously, in 11th place. That are the champions from the last 3 weeks in a row. And then you've also got 5-star over here with Voodoo, Zanai, and all those guys. So interesting stuff to say the least. Oversleepers back in action, looking pretty solid in 1st place. But nonetheless, we are getting pretty close to the end of this year, right? We've got Split 2 playoffs, and then shortly after, we're going to be going into the whole World Championship. So after Esport World Cup is over, we're really on the final stretch. You're about to start seeing some crazy roster changes. This is where people start to make big changes. Of course, we see that all the time with splits, but you're really going to see that once the playoffs is over, and definitely going to see crazy big changes after World Champs is over. Also wanted to make mention, just kind of like directional push for this game. Respawn did go on in an interview to say basically they feel like and agree with that the casual player base has been alienated from the scene, and the skill gap is getting too big. I posted this on my main channel yesterday, and I did not get a lot of good feedback. People said I basically said I feel like casual players have not been that alienated. Maybe when it comes to like the skill gap, I get it, the game is hard, but I feel like pro players and comp players, anybody that gets on is experiencing that, not just casual players. They might be getting the worst end of the stick, sure, but I think we're all battling this skill-based matchmaking type, games too hard type conversation. And yeah, we dove a little bit deeper into that on yesterday's video on the main channel, because skill-based matchmaking has been coming under fire really with Call of Duty and such. They did a test. Turns out everybody actually enjoyed skill-based matchmaking without realizing it. And that's kind of been the conversation for Apex. I don't think skill-based matchmaking is going anywhere. I do think we can all agree that the game at its core is way too hard when it comes to public matches, and it's just not fun enough, right? That's where I think they need to get rid of regular pubs and almost just do 3 strikes. Like, you just need more lives, need more chances or something to make the game seem a little bit more worth it, like a rebirth, I guess, from COD. But Steven Fiera did come out to say, this is like Respawn's guy, to say, when I say accessibility, I think that I use that term as a broad umbrella. And this is one of those that when we break it down, we actually solve that in designing the game. There are two different things because it is a challenge. It is not easy. It's not an easy thing to, by any means, to solve, but I would describe it as probably one of our, if our not top priority in the game right now. And that's talking about how hard it is for the casual players and making them a part of the game again. The reality is that Apex is a competitive experience and will always be. It'll never go away. It's why Apex is fun, in my opinion. It's part of our DNA and the core experience for Apex that we have. But some of it is that the on-ramp to becoming good is too steep and too difficult for some. And basically, the game is designed a little too much towards competition, such that we do let that kind of run away. And that skill gap, as you pointed out, has become quite vast over the last 5 years. I have a bunch of ideas of how we're going to address it. And basically, he kind of insinuated and said, I'm actually excited to say it's coming in the next season. So in this upcoming season, Apex might be taking a little bit of a directional change when it comes to how difficult this game is and how you are incorporating the lower skilled players to the higher skilled players. And what exactly are they going to do? Obviously, time will tell. Interested to see your thoughts on the game and its future in the competitive Apex Legends scene, and also Esports World Cup predictions. I think we all know and are predicting the Falcons esports team to do very, very well. Let us know your comments down below. And until the next time, we'll see you all later, Gators.